Spears here. Hey, I got a quick question for y'all. So Vlad hit me up and he said to me, will you come back on my show like you said you would so we could address this face to face, mano y mano? And I told him, let me think about it. Give me 48 hours and I'll have an answer for you.
What's good, everybody? The Aries Spears and DJ Vlad situation has officially hit a breaking point. After weeks of back and forth, multiple responses, and what somehow became one of the messiest podcast feuds of the year, Aries finally drops what he's calling his last word on the matter. Though whether anything in situations like this is ever truly final is another conversation entirely. But honestly, the more Aries talks, the more it sounds like a lot of this may have been self-inflicted. And now people are asking one question. Did he accidentally talk himself right out of one of his biggest platforms? According to Aries Spears, the whole thing started over money, not disrespect, not creative differences, not some interview that went sideways, money. And similar to how Boosie saw it, Aries believed he was bringing serious value to Vlad TV, pointing to fans who told him directly that they subscribed to the channel specifically to watch his interviews.
At one point, Aries was complaining because he needed a makeup artist. I mean, literally the only person I've ever interviewed that needs a makeup artist every interview. Every interview, but I'm like, that's cool.
Wait, he needs a makeup artist every interview?
Every interview.
Oh.
Every interview. So there's a makeup artist, shout out to my girl Candace, who comes early to do his makeup. Him, he's not welcome to the platform anymore. I don't give a
Here's the reality though. Vlad TV is sitting at 4 or 5 million subscribers. No single guest, regardless of how popular they are, is moving the needle on a channel that size in any significant way. And yes, it's important for people to know their worth. A lot of us tend to overvalue ourselves, specifically as a defense mechanism, just to make sure nobody else undervalues us first. That's understandable. So Aries isn't completely off base with the mindset. But Vlad is going to do numbers with or without any one person. That platform has its own momentum at this point. And on top of that, Vlad pays guests to come on, so the motivation for showing up isn't always purely about passion or connection to the platform. There's a financial incentive already built into it, which means the dynamic is a little more complicated than just a guest adding value to a channel.
What up, it's your boy Aries Spears here. Hey, I got a quick question for y'all. So Vlad hit me up and he said to me, will you come back on my show like you said you would so we could address this face to face, mano y mano? And I told him, let me think about it. Give me 48 hours and I'll have an answer for you. But I want to ask you guys a question. And before I ask, let me say this. So I didn't see the whole thing, but people kept telling me he did a part 2 on me with Tekashi 6ix9ine. And one of the jokes he made was he said, I look like Kung Fu Panda. And one of the things I said was that Vlad is a liar. He lies. So one of the questions I want to ask, which is why I have a problem possibly doing this, is because if you lied once and you're a snake and you bit me once, that means you're going to bite me again. Where did Vlad get that joke from? Kung Fu Panda. You know where? He got it from me. When he came to my show, I do a thing where if somebody big and obese gets up, I call him Kung Fu Panda. And here's a guy that says or wants to make you believe he knows comedy. But yet you took one of my jokes to use it on me. Did he say that part? Should I go back? Let me know.
Now, Aries Spears has always been the type to say what everyone else is thinking but won't touch. He addresses the elephant in the room. He's brutally honest, and he does it while being genuinely funny. That combination means his clips were regularly going viral. So when he went to Vlad and asked for a raise, on the surface, it seemed like a reasonable request. He had the track record to back it up. But that's exactly where everything started to unravel. It got personal when Vlad reportedly brought Boosie into the conversation as a comparison. According to Aries, Vlad told him he wasn't pulling Boosie-level numbers. And that's the moment Aries felt disrespected, because in his mind, he wasn't even asking for Boosie's money. He wasn't trying to match that tier. He was asking for recognition, acknowledgement that what he brought to the table had value beyond just a flat appearance fee. And honestly, that argument isn't without merit. In the modern content landscape, personalities are the product, That's not an opinion. That's just how it works. If people are subscribing specifically because of you, that carries real weight. But the deeper issue wasn't really about the raise at all. It was about communication, or the complete lack of it. Because here's where the story takes a turn. According to Aries, Vlad reached out and wanted to handle everything privately over the phone. Aries says he was busy at the time and couldn't connect. From there, instead of finding another moment to straighten it out, the whole dynamic turned passive-aggressive, and things got uncomfortable enough that even Aries' own co-host Andy started pointing out the inconsistencies in the situation during their own podcast.
And this is where Vlad's ego and him being a narcissist. You're not gonna beckon me. You're not summoning me. I'm busy, nigga. But Vlad is such a narcissist and sensitive. And listen, I'm an egomaniac. I got my flaws as far as some of that goes, so I'm owning up to that. But I'm also not gonna kiss your ass. And this is where Vlad's ego and him being a narcissist. You're not gonna beckon me. You're not summoning me. I'm busy, nigga. I got shit to do. And despite what a lot of people believe, my legacy does not live and die on Vlad TV.
And that moment speaks volumes, because you could clearly see that even the people closest to Aries recognized the situation was heading somewhere unnecessary. Andy was right there questioning why Aries never properly followed up after agreeing to have that conversation. When your own co-host is poking holes in your story on a public platform, that's the signal that something went sideways behind the scenes. And that's exactly when it went completely off the rails. Aries unloaded on Vlad publicly, calling him narcissistic, sensitive, attention-seeking, and obsessed with being on camera. He even drew a comparison to what Suge Knight said about Diddy being all over the videos and dancing. Aries also went after Vlad for allegedly wanting shout-outs from the stage at comedy shows and craving public acknowledgement from celebrities. Then he doubled down by reminding everybody that his career existed long before Vlad TV ever came into the picture. And that part is true. Aries brought up HBO, Def Comedy Jam, Showtime at the Apollo, Mad TV, his role in Jerry Maguire, and decades of work in the comedy world. That's a legitimate legacy, and it deserves to be acknowledged. The problem is that the internet doesn't operate on legacy. It operates on visibility. What have you done lately, and where can people see it? Vlad TV was giving Aries consistent access to a younger audience that might not have known that history at all. And that's why a lot of people watching this situation felt like both sides ended up underestimating what the other one was actually bringing to the table. Then, somehow, out of all the real drama happening, the internet locked on to one thing: Aries admitting he wears makeup for his Vlad TV interviews. Honestly, that part shouldn't have even been a conversation. Makeup for on-camera appearances is completely standard. He explained it clearly. He uses it to cover dark circles and manage the sweat that comes with sitting under hot studio lighting. That's normal television production. Actors do it, talk show hosts do it, podcasters do it. Instagram has filters, YouTube has color correction. This is just how visual media works. But because it's the internet, it immediately became meme material. As a comedian, Aries had to know that the second he said it out loud, he was handing people ammunition. Still, it says more about the audience than it does about him. The uncomfortable truth underneath all of this is that Aries may have let his emotions get in the way of what could have been a straightforward business conversation. From the outside looking in, Vlad appeared willing to sit down and work through it privately, but Aries seemed to want public validation before any of that could happen. And once the shots started flying publicly, there was no walking it back. Now, Vlad is escalating things further. He's already brought up Aries in a conversation with 6ix9ine and has plans to discuss the situation with ACT and WAC 100. At that point, it's not a negotiation anymore. Aries has become content. That's the shift that happens when things go too far publicly. You stop being a guest and start being a topic. At the end of the day, both Aries Spears and Vlad will likely be fine when the dust settles financially. But this whole situation is a textbook example of what happens when ego, business, and internet attention all collide at the same time. Because some of the biggest public fallout start over the smallest things, and both of these men know that better than most, given how much they each comment on exactly this kind of drama when it happens to everyone else.